Hey, welcome back. I'm Regal. I'm the coach of the Houston Hax. And this week is Rivalry Week. Okay. We're going up against Cooper, aka Sorbs, aka two-time champion. I'm related to him. He's my cousin, great player, and a great rival. I prep with him quite a bit. This week, I obviously couldn't prep with him because we were playing. But I know it was going to be a great week, and it really wound up being a great week. But I need to show a little bit of history, so I pulled up some replays from our previous three games that we've played. Okay, not exactly the last three. I think it is, but check this out. Mega Gardevoir. Honestly, if he heavy slammed there, he would have won. But regardless, this is back in season 2 of the National Pokemon Draft League. So there we go. 1-0 versus Cooper since season 2. Next time we faced each other, actually don't have a replay of it, and Cooper's lucky. Cooper actually deleted the replay, I'm pretty sure, because my Don fan absolutely destroyed him. Killed like 4 of his Mons in like 4 turns. It was incredible. I went speedy Don fan. He wasn't expecting it and just had coverage for everything and killed everything. But it was fine. We already had our seeds kind of locked up for the playoffs. It was toward the end of the season. It wasn't a big deal. But anyways, that same season, we go to the championship game. And Cooper drops his Mega. I don't even remember what he had that season, but he picks up Mega Bayonet just because it had a good matchup against the actual playoff teams that he was going to face. But regardless, I brought my boy Persian, which everyone doubted, by the way. But Choice Scarf Cat was actually a beast in this game, and honestly comes down to the reason why I won it. But this is a championship match. And we're able to, let me turn that music off. I think the music's always annoying. Able to pull off the victory here with a what is it? Oh yeah, Trick Room Mimikyu. Also, check the name of the Mimikyu, not yours yet. Cooper had to copy me in the next season. So season 4, he actually drafted Mimikyu. But at the end of season 3, I had to let him know that it wasn't his just yet, as I was able to take home the championship that season, giving him his worst nightmare. So 3-0. Okay, since season 2, beat him 3 times. Okay, haven't lost. We haven't lost in season 1 to him. Okay, just spoiler alert. Okay, then we play him. This is my favorite game, by the way. Play him in the playoffs of season 4. All right, honestly, I don't know how I did so well in season 4. I think my team was horrible, but luckily, I just had to get super, super creative with the Mons I did have. Regardless, Cooper thought he had me at this point in time, but luckily I was packing the Ipapa Berry Scizor. You can see it's at 39%. He thought he had the sweep, and it was a done deal. But we're packing the Ipapa Berry Scizor, and let's see what happens here. Scizor is able to survive, get a defog off after his Shadow Sneak, and we're able to come back and actually win this game. I really didn't have an answer for Lopunny, at least to both the stabs. So this game I actually brought an answer to his normal stab in Gigalith and an answer to his fighting stab in Sylveon. And that's the only way I could handle it. When he subbed here, I was so happy because I just ran Rocky Helmet on both my Sylveon and my Gigalith. Okay, my plan was not to attack the Lopunny in this game, and that's why it's one of my favorite games. I thought it was just such an interesting back and forth battle. It was just super, super fun to watch. I'll speed it up so we don't waste too much time here. But Gigalith had a nice little double when he went to Arcanine, but actually I was just trying to take another shot from his Lopunny, and then we hit him with the surprise attack, quick attack on the Sylveon to finish him off. Lose Sylveon in the process, but really fun. Always a fun match when we play Cooper. Always one where you want to really pack as much as you possibly can, make it just really bring out all the stops. So always a fun player to play. And so before we get into this week's game, I just want to talk a little bit about my team and my preparation. So let's go to our team builder here. Actually, let's look at the teams real quick. Looking at our matchup, Cooper's team is very powerful. I'll give you a second to identify the threats. Okay, his main threats: Obstagoon, which is a steal for tier 3. Cole, if you're watching this, I don't know what we were thinking, why we put that thing in tier 3. That thing is nasty. It's probably going to lead the league in kills. If that doesn't lead the league in kills, Dragapult will, because it's faster than literally everything. So you can run specs or band, or as you'll get to see, you can run some crazy sets with it. Also, so he's got super offensive team. Really like his team, actually. Avalog's a great defensive wall. All the teams I'm highlighting, all the mons he's highlighting are the ones that he wound up bringing. Ones that I thought he would bring. I thought he was going to bring Lucario. I thought that was a major threat. I knew he would only bring one of either Gigalith or Avalog. It just depended if he wanted removal or if he wanted rocks for himself. He turned out to bring Avalog, which doesn't surprise me. He said in testing rocks were pretty nasty against his team, and I wound up not even bringing rocks in the end. But I thought Lucario was definitely a major threat. He did not bring it. And then I was not expecting the Espeon. I did not think the Espeon would come. I thought Arctozolt could work. It was a little cheeky, maybe with a Choice Scarf or something, but that wound up not coming as well. So what it came down to in our preparation here, let me just get rid of the pen and on our screen. What it came down to basically for me was I just acknowledged that I didn't have a switch in to Obstagoon, and that I was just going to honestly either take a hit and hit him back with either Grimmsnarl, which was super defensive, or my Mew could take a hit, or my Deblade could take a hit, or I was just going to win a speed tie with Arcanine. So let's go to Team Builder. This is the team that I wound up bringing. So I was just going to win a speed tie. Now, I would say this team's completely built around having Dragon Dance Mew, which is just filthy, by the way. I definitely will bring it again in the future. But Dragon Dance Mew is just disgusting. And I knew against his team, if I bring the dark coverage, fighting coverage, and then Leaf Storm for Quagsire, honestly, the only ones I need to worry about or chip down would then be his Avalog. Okay, his Avalog, his Arctozolt needed to be chipped down just a little bit, and then Gigalith. So that going in, I just knew I needed to chip down those mons, and Mew could win pretty easily, assuming that he didn't get webs up. Unfortunately, he did. The plan against webs was to bring Claydol, have enough speed to, after +1 rapid spin, outspeed his Ribombee, and then hit it with a Stone Edge. And so all these EVs are calced perfectly to do a min of 20% with rapid spin and a min of 80 with Stone Edge, and then wind up killing his Ribombee, hopefully without it getting up webs. Unfortunately, I decided, and I think it was a good decision, to lead Arcanine in the end, which was a mixed attacking set with max speed, just so that I could deal with, a lot of his threats. Flamethrower was for Avalog, Crunch just to hit his Dragapult, Close Combat to, obviously I needed to threaten his Obstagoon, and then Solar Beam was the trickery I brought for Quagsire. I did look at Solar Blade on Deblade, but I realized it just wasn't good enough to bring that in the end. As I was just going to use Deblade as a late game sweeper with Swords Dance and Shadow Sneak, as it killed a lot of his higher mons. But Grimmsnarl was going to be the dedicated Dragapult check, and it really is a good one. I gave it Assault Vest. I did have I had a berry on it before, a Steel Berry, because I thought Lucario would come in and try to smack it, and I wanted to surprise Lucario with a superpower. But I wound up going Assault Vest because I wanted it to take as many hits as possible from the Dragapult, and it wound up taking a ton, actually. His Dragapult actually brought Mono Dragon, if you can believe it or not, and it put in work. It absolutely destroyed me. This Mon Drampa is actually turning out to be one of my best Mons. I really love it. Eventually, I will pack Trick Room, and I think next time I'm going to have to against Cooper. I think this was the poor decision that I did make is bringing double screens on Claydol. I think I would have been better off with Trick Room and then just bringing Reflect. because I needed it for Obstagoon. But yeah, those last two moves after Rapid Spin, Stone Edge, I didn't really know what I wanted to bring. I should have brought probably Psychic just so I could hit a few things. But Trick Room would have been nice. And honestly, I had Trick Room for a long time, and then I deleted it last second. I decided to go for Screens. Not the worst strategy in the world, but it basically all came down to a 50-50. So let's get into it. I think I went over most of my mons. I think the only thing that I really considered bringing Bravery, and literally all it would need is Choice Scarf, Brave Bird, Close Combat. The only issue was Avalog just completely walled it, and so I would have brought U-Turn as well. But that was my concern, is that Avalog would just come in repeatedly on my Bravery, or to take hits from Bravery. But after Avalog, shoot, Bravery goes in. Glossopod, another one I thought about bringing, just really didn't wind up putting in enough work against Cooper's team. Hit things hard, but he had a lot of resistances with it. And I knew he was going to prep for my Grimmsnarl with his Dragapult. Like, I knew this Dragapult was running sub. Like, there's no way he wouldn't bring it. And I thought he'd run sub on Espeon as well. He might have, but he didn't reveal it or tell me after the game. But yeah, no, it's a super fun game. Let's finally get into it. Here we go. I'll just play it at normal speed here. But basically I decided to lead Arcanine because it is a fire type and resist, like, Rabambi can't touch it. Really can't touch it. That way I don't lose any health on any of my mons. I wanted to keep Claydol healthy. I don't know why. I made the anti-lead Claydol. He brought Rabambi, and then I didn't bring Claydol, or didn't lead it. I think I did make the right choice. I knew Cooper would get crafty and know that I would have a Claydol bring against his Rabambi, because it is my spinner. And he said he had a few tricks up his sleeve. I think he had whatever powder paralyzes things. So he said he would have paralyzed or done something with it. But regardless, I thought I would lose the least amount of health by bringing Fenrir first, or my Arcanine, and then hitting it with a flamethrower. So that's exactly what I did. I thought he would fear extreme speed and switch, and so he did. I just flamethrower it again because I don't have extreme speed on this, actually. And then there's the switch of the game right there. I go for my Power Herb Solar Beam, and he switches, which is such a good play on his part. I could have, I mean, honestly, I was all in on the Solar Beam trying to catch his Quagsire. That was one thing I needed to remove for at least my Doublade to do anything, as that was just a safe switch in repeatedly to that. So, oh well. Luckily, I do have the speed on my Arcanine to go for close combat. I thought it was a speed tie, but I thought it was a risk worth taking, as Obstagoon is one of his biggest threats. So I go for my close combat. He switches back to Quagsire. And here is an interesting part in the game. I thought about it, and I talked to Cooper after the game. I thought that he might double back into Obstagoon because, as you can see, when we examine the team, Obstagoon is absolutely broken. It is disgusting. I don't know how the heck it's not S tier. Just kidding. But tier 3, it is just too good. And so I have no switch-ins for it. So I thought he would double here into Obstagoon, but then again, I was lowered defense, so I thought he might just take a chunk out of Arcanine. So I did wind up switching, making a good play, going into my threat that didn't have any switches in Drampa. And here's where I thought I needed to go for Energy Ball because I didn't want to have him bring in Rabambi for free. So I just had to be smart. Here I could not take an attack from Dragapult. He goes for the sub, which like we said, we kind of expected that. But here's where things get a little bit tricky, and later they get absolutely insane on this Dragapult set. Like, props to Cooper and whoever helped him bring that set. It was just deadly. Absolutely, like, I thought I had the game in the bag, and then he brought out a tech that I just was not expecting. But Will-O-Wisp, good move on his part. I'm able to break his sub and get him to switch. I'm able to hit his Avalog. Not hard at all because it's an Avalog and I'm burned. And then here my Arcanine has to take a Body Press. And Avalog is an absolute threat with Body Press. I think it's a really good tier 4 in our league. And with Heavy Duty Boots, just just really makes it a quality choice for hazard removal. Able to get in my Claydol, set up Reflect here, which does pay some dividends. He doesn't allow me to rapid spin. Here I decided to switch out because I knew I could survive whatever move he went for, and I thought he would just sub up. I do switch into Grimmsnarl. I honestly, if I go back to the play to my Drampa, I thought he was going to go for his ghost move. I don't think he revealed any attacking moves yet. And so what I wanted to do is catch him on that ghost move, get in Drampa, and then I could get another kill because he wouldn't want to sacrifice his Dragapult. And with Reflect up, I would have killed something. So he winds up subbing instead, which is just a smart play on his part. But I have my dedicated switch. I wish I would have kept this healthier throughout the game because he wound up having Mono Dragon against my Grimmsnarl. Well, the only way he's going to kill me is with the continual burn, and so I wish I would have kept that a little bit healthier. We'll see what happens here as the game moves on. But we're able to get Drampa back in. Drampa eats a body press because of the Reflect. I go for the Draco Meteor. Crit did not matter. I could have Flamethrowered to kill it as well, but I think I would have been. I could have had a min roll and not killed it. This is where I made my first mistake. I took a Shadow Ball that I really didn't need to take. Honestly, what I should have done, and in hindsight, I should have went for the Flamethrower to KO the Avalog, so that way I didn't go down to -2. Because by going down to -2, now he can actually bring in his Espeon and start chunking me with anything he wants. Here he feels super safe. But if I didn't go down to +2, or -2, excuse me, I could have stayed in and he wouldn't have been able to bring in his Espeon. He would have had to bring something else. So there I take a shot from Claydol. I should have just sacked Fenrir at that point, my Arcanine. But this is the way it goes. Here I predict him to switch out with his Espeon because I'm thinking that he doesn't want to take the extreme speed and he can save the Espeon for later. But luckily, he uses Shadow Ball and I'm able to get my Drampa back into the game. Takes a Dazzling Gleam because I do have the Assault Vest and I do have a little overkill here with the Draco Meteor. I completely forgot about my Berserk activating. But so I could have Dragon Pulsed, but it didn't really matter. Drampa was useless. It was weaker than all the other Mons. I sack my Arcanine. The threat is back in. I bring out my Deblade. Now, I did have to make a choice there if I wanted to bring out my Mew this early, but instead I decided to bring out Deblade, and I knew he would double to Quagsire and then get my Mew in. So the whole plan there was to bring out Deblade and then immediately switch. So I could set up, because I wound up being Dragon Dance Mew, which is filthy. He substitutes up. I go for the attack. I knew I didn't have to get to +1. I knew I just needed to attack and remove this threat. I needed it to die. And I played right into his hands because here's the big reveal. I thought he glared me for some reason, but it actually is disable. And so now I have nothing to hit the Dragapult. I have to switch out, which is just unfortunate. Here, I believe I go for a Power Whip. Nope, I played safe. I try to break the sub. And then here I hit it with a Power Whip. I could have saved health on my little fairy dude here, my Grimmsnarl, but I knew I needed to chip down the Quagsire, or at least that's what I was thinking at this point in time. I might have forgot I had Leaf Storm on Mew. I don't know why. But so I did have a chance to kill the Quagsire with Leaf Storm at any point. But I wanted to lower it down to put pressure on it so that way it couldn't switch into or get to a point where maybe my Deblade could pick it off at some point. But it would just be too low. It wound up not working. We'll see here. So now I bring in my Grimmsnarl. I shouldn't have Power Whipped. I really should have just kept his health as low as possible with Spirit Break. He has to Will-O-Wisp again, because then I could have made him sub twice, which would have just had him around 50%, which would have been nice. It really didn't matter. Do I double again? I think I do. Nope, I go for Iron Head. Thanks for hanging on. This is definitely a long video. But here's what the game comes down to. He misses the burn, which I would have lost if the burn would have hit. I wind up killing him with Leaf Storm, and now I'm at 80%. I actually Coop, I'm pretty sure I live this. We talked about it before. Let's see if I have my damage calc. So Obstagoon, max attack, adamant, with knockoff versus my Mew with Culberberry. No, I'm a liar. I am straight up a liar. Facade definitely would have killed me. I would have been a dead Mew. It would have been over. It wouldn't have even been close. But luckily, he did not know that. So I decided to go for what I felt was my only play, because I had him calced for not adamant, because I thought he'd try to speed tie with my Arcanine. But I had him calced to survive the knockoff, Dragon Dance up, and here is the play, 50-50. Will he switch? Will he not? He did switch. I didn't get the Drain Punch off to win the game. If I would have Darkest Lariat, I would have won. Unfortunate, but that's what you want it to come down to. You want it to be super exciting down to the end, hearts beaten, make a 50-50. And so here I'm just trying to catch him. I think I wound up going for a fighting move, just trying to go off his choke eventually. But he is prepared to lose the Dragapult at this time. Basically, the game's over. He just needs to get Obstagoon back in, and it is a done deal. So we mess around here for a bit, but basically his Dragapult winds up killing everything because I could not kill the Dragapult with Will-O-Wisp, Disable, Dragon Darts, and Sub. Great set, great bring by my opponent. Wouldn't expect anything else from a champion like him. Really fun game, and I'm excited to play in the future. Honestly, I'm excited to see him in playoffs because I'm going to bring a few different things. I would expect bravery, and I would expect a little trick room if I were Cooper. So we'll let him prep for the playoffs because I'm sure we'll see him in the future if we don't choke before then. Nah, there's so many good players. It's going to be a crazy and fun year here in the National Pokemon Draft League. Good luck to everybody. Next week's opponent is Magnus. He's my number one ranked person on the power rankings, so I'm excited to prep and play him. So your Houston Hax go to 1-1. So hopefully we can bounce back. All right, guys, peace.